I almost died on my first ayahuasca retreat, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Sadly, not an ego death. I actually became pretty close to the regular variety. Before I share more, it's helpful to know who I was before the retreat itself. Now, at the time, I was working as a strategy and management consultant in Hong Kong, leading a pretty large team, about 100 plus consultants, and I was the type of person who was pretty highly driven to succeed. I was an atheist at the time, never really had any personal spiritual experience, and honestly, I thought it was kind of a bunch of nonsense. I had some childhood trauma that I didn't know about, and honestly, I was unprepared for the experience. I didn't really know what to expect. I hadn't read very much, and there wasn't as much online now as there is today. Now, what happened on retreat is that I threw up about 150 times. I passed out more times than I can count, and I was hooked up to oxygen. And I recognize now that really what was happening is that I was being pulled into the spirit world and kind of forgetting to breathe. No one had recommended to me that perhaps I might use the breath to stay connected to the third dimension here. And so what kept happening is I kept kind of forgetting to breathe and kind of going out, so to speak. I also wasn't taught any tools to kind of ground myself in the experience should I experience some challenges, shall we say. I didn't know how to release emotions, and so every time painful emotions from my childhood trauma were kind of being amplified and brought to the surface, I was contracting away from the experience rather than releasing and expanding into it. I kind of ended each ceremony in the intensive care room. Thankfully, there was kind of a small dog there to take care of me. I wasn't particularly guided in my integration after the retreat, and so pretty much everything in my life went back to normal after the retreat. I was still drinking alcohol, I was still kind of eating rubbish food. Basically everything in life went back to the way it was before. I have a few reflections given what I know now, which is that I was well taken care of during the retreat on the mental, physical, and emotional levels, but not on the spiritual or on the energetic level. And so the following day in the sharing circle, the shaman was kind of surprised to learn what I was going through. And to me, now I recognize that they just weren't really energetically tapped in to me during the experience, which you would hope for from a person who is doing this work at a high level. I also see that the screening that I went through could probably have been a lot more comprehensive. I went to a small retreat center that was doing, the best that they could, but they hadn't really invested in safety, or really, as I shared before, helped me prepare for some of the amplification of the energies that might come through during the ceremony. Now, I'll be forever grateful for the experience that opened the door to spirituality for me. But over the years that follow, I really recognized there was a much deeper need to help people prepare for these experiences and to be guided in the integration in order to be able to achieve the transformation and sustain the transformation that is possible with powerful plant medicines like ayahuasca or psilocybin. A few recommendations for you if you are looking for a retreat yourself, or have been looking around but not really found the thing that resonates with you. Number one, avoid large groups. Large groups can be pretty chaotic in nature, and as I kind of alluded to, you may not get the attention that you're looking for. Number two, check out the healers themselves. They are fundamental to this process. It's all energetic in nature. Healers that are operating at a high level are going to be able to help you transmute some of your energies as they come to the surface. You're looking for healers also that I would say have a lightness of being rather than a heavy energy about them. So keep that in mind. The other thing that I would recommend is that you speak to the retreat providers ahead of choosing a retreat. Make sure that they are taking the time and the energy to understand you ahead of actually making a commitment and moving forward. Lastly, I would encourage you to consider a coach or a therapist if you want lasting change, and don't we all? And finally, if you're ready for a powerful transformation, we facilitate retreats of this variety, correcting for some of the errors that I personally had experienced. Check out our upcoming retreats in the link below if you're interested. And either way, wishing you much love and much aloha. Have a great day.